Time for some Royal Rumble talk. Not the parts we were already talking about, but the actual match itself. If you've been following, this is what the contest was. We predicted the number 1 to 30 entrances, and we also predicted the winner, the most eliminations, and the shortest and longest time. Now, the breakdown is what you see on the screen right here. In the last place was Braden.
Yeah, I thought so.
With 4 points. You got the 4 points because of a margin victory with Dolph Ziggler, because you said he was going to come out number 2 and he came out number 1. That only gave you the 1 point. You also had the most eliminations Ryback, which everybody got. So everybody got the 2 points for that, except for Mike Payton, who only got 1 because he split it in half. And you got a marginal point for Wade Barrett. Tied in second to last place are Burhan and Carlos. They both had the most eliminations Ryback. In Carlos's case, he had 2 points for the winner of John Cena, 1 point for Dolph Ziggler, 1 point for Drew McIntyre, and he nailed Damian Sandow down, so he got 3 points for that. Burhan got the most eliminations with Ryback, 3 points for nailing Dolph Ziggler, 3 points for nailing Kofi Kingston, for Great Khali, and 1 point for Kofi Kingston in a margin. I had 10 points, and I thought that I won, and I was so fucking happy about it at first. I thought I won by 1 point. I had the winner John Cena, the Iron Man Dolph Ziggler, most eliminations Ryback. I nailed Dolph Ziggler for 3, 1 point for Daniel Bryan. And it annoyed the living shit out of me because 3MB fucked me over here. I had Drew McIntyre coming out at number 4. He came out at number 6. I had Heath Slater coming out at number 6. So if I would have switched those up, I would have fucking won this. I had Jinder Mahal coming out at number 9. Heath Slater came out at number 10. I would have gotten another point for that. I'm like, you assholes. Like, if I would have fucking switched up 3MB, I would have fucking won.
I was talking to him on Twitter, Tony, and I told them about your predictions, so he purposely did that.
Assholes. I wouldn't do that because we keep running them down. They're like, oh, how many times you got to run down Jim Paul and
there's
Jack
one special mention I have to give to Heath Slater. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, I mean, egg on all of our faces. Slater's gonna come out, do his air guitar, and get tossed immediately. Fucking stays in there forever.
Ever. Yeah, that's what I was pissed off about. Like, you don't get your ginger head ass out of that damn ring. Motherfucker.
He was playing a solo.
Yeah, and it was actually quite funny because Santino came in, injured and all, and then got tossed out again. It was just like,
yeah, some people had so much less than Slater, and we all thought Slater was going to be the worst.
Because he was the leader. So like when both of them are gone, he's like, "Yeah, I'm coming out this late. I'm gonna win it all," and then he gets tossed immediately,
right,
to kind of end the trifecta. And yet he didn't come out last.
A ton of people.
So you got screwed over by the 3 million band.
And the winner of the contest is Mike Payton. He had 13 points. And the difference, those 3 points, you know what those differences are? He nailed Heath Slater. I'm like, you asshole. He had 1 point for most eliminations Ryback since he split it in half. He guessed that it would either be Mark Henry or Ryback. He got the Iron Man correct with Dolph Ziggler. He also got Dolph Ziggler's placement right. 3 points for Heath Slater, and then he got 1 point margins for Titus O'Neil, Randy Orton, The Miz, and Antonio Cesaro. So Mike Payton wins, and he's not here right now. He still might show up later. He's in the middle of work and just a little bit too swamped to be able to get out of it and talk wrestling and everything. But he should be picking the loser that has to do something stupid.
Please pick Tony. Please pick Tony. Please pick Tony. Please pick Tony.
So when he does get that information to us, we will let you guys know, and whoever he picks, whatever we end up doing, we'll film and have on the next episode or the episode after that or whatever it ends up being. We'll end up getting it up eventually. If he can't think of anything, then it'll default to me, and then Mike Burhan's got to be on watch, and I got to think of worse stuff.
He keeps targeting me, this guy. Seriously. Is it because I'm better looking, Tony? That's what it is, isn't it?
You're looking at the picture of myself that you have on your profile.
He didn't even come dead last, okay? I came dead last. If anybody deserves to have to do something stupid and shitty, it's me. I mean,
but see, that's honorable. So no.
Yeah,
So we're all victims to it.
I
Appreciate you
would
falling on the
just say
sword.
this to the whole Smack Talk audience, he has been gunning for me since this competition has started.
Since you suggested the idea of the loser doing something like that, I instantly knew I would end up picking you if I won. So
You knew as well that I would pull it off because I would film it and get it in the can as soon as he states it. So
right.
All right, we'll see what happens. And Mike Payton, please get on the freaking.
So this is going to be the breakdown of the Royal Rumble. Now that we got the contest kind of out of the way, we're not going to really run down every single little thing that happened, but the important parts, we have Dolph Ziggler come out number 1, and Chris Jericho comes out number 2, and everybody that's watching the pay-per-view just went, oh, holy shit. And my friend Brett literally was sitting down on the floor and jumped up and went, no fucking way. Like, you know, everybody marked out for that. So that actually was the equivalent of us marking out for Diesel and Booker T, and when we marked out on the John Cena and Brock Lesnar match when that started and everything. That's really one of the highlights so far. And I would say right now there's a good chance that wins an award later on in the year for the best markout moment of the year. Jericho got "You Still Got It" chance, even though he's he's just fucking in the company a couple months ago. But Cody Rhodes came out number 3. Kofi Kingston came out number 4. Santino, despite his neck injury, came out and was pretty quickly eliminated. Drew McIntyre follows it up with Titus O'Neil, and McIntyre gets eliminated by Chris Jericho. Then Goldust came out at number 8, and Cody Rhodes had, you know, his little spot with him.
That was a nice little thing they had going on. It was a testament to both Cody and...
Yeah, I fucking predicted it a year too early. God damn it. Like, seriously? You hear when it's not supposed to happen, it does.
Yeah,
if WWE has any common sense, they would book these two for Mania. Or even Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, pretty good exchange.
Yeah, and I think they need to have that feud in the can, even if Dustin's brought back just for a couple of pay-per-views.
One program, yeah. I agree. But yeah, I called this actually happening last year, and it didn't happen. And then, of course, fucking 1 year later, it actually ends up happening. All it had to do was Cody grow a mustache.
You know, who would have been like, oh, come out, not the New Age Outlaws, or not the rumored MVP, or Shelton, or Carlito, or any other people that were supposed to pop up. It ended up being, you know, 3 of the spots that were filled were people that nobody really saw coming. Goldust, 4 of them actually. Goldust, Jericho, Godfather, and Bo Dallas.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the Godfather coming in and then getting eliminated. It was nice for a nostalgia kick, but I'd rather would have had someone taking the spot who actually deserves it. There was a lot of guys who were left off the card.
R-Truth wasn't even in it.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. Whose cornflakes did he piss on to not be in the Rumble?
John Cena's.
Probably.
Wait, no, that would be Fruity Pebbles that he pissed on. David Otunga came out number 9. Heath Slater came out number 10. 11 was Sheamus.
Is there anyone who doesn't matter as much as freaking David Otunga? Seriously.
No. There's a couple of people. No. McGillicuddy. Sheamus eliminates Titus O'Neil and David Otunga. Tensai comes out number 12. Brodus Clay comes out number 13.
Number 12.
Cody eliminates Goldust. Rey Mysterio pops up wearing his best little Undertaker singlet kind of thing. Darren Young comes out number 15. Brodus Clay gets eliminated. Kofi Kingston eliminates Tensai and does a really cool spot with jumping on Tensai's back and then being on the commentary table and switching back and forth with the chair and everything, and then he gets eliminated just by, what was it, Cody Rhodes, I think?
Yeah, the disaster kick knocked him off the apron.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny because that's actually how that kind of stuff would happen. You know, you go through all that effort and then, fuck, that's just how life gets you.
Well, it happened like last year's Rumble as well, if you remember, when he did the handstands, got back in the ring, and then just got eliminated after that.
Number 16 was Bo Dallas, who they're pushing this guy to the fucking moon already.
Unfortunately, there are so many better people in NXT that could have taken that spot.
I like the program he's got going on with Wade Barrett, and I do feel that Bo Dallas deserves to be in the mid card. I don't see him excelling above the mid card. I think once his feud with Barrett's over, he'll just probably go back to NXT. I don't see him having a permanent spot on the roster.
I hope they don't have
Barrett looks even more like shit than usual because he's having this feud with this useless NXT member. Yeah. Right.
And there's one other
I'm
thing
so pleased that this feud is going on and that Bo actually eliminated him from the match. I mean,
they were going to have that Intercontinental title thing.
Loved it.
Yeah, he's speaking sarcastically, Carlos.
Oh, I'm about to say, just making sure.
No, I'm a huge Wade Barrett fan, and if you've been following me, any of these last several hundred episodes that I've done and complained about, his treatment is awful.
Because he's English.
Right. Because he's English, exactly.
And let my people go!
Yeah, and the xenophobe runs the
company. Not my fault. Yeah. The wannabe Irish owner of the company who's born in America, but he's got Irish roots, hates English people for no reason, and buries everyone that comes to their company, despite talent or not, and hasn't ever crowned one a world champion in.
Well, before Wade Barrett came out, it was The Godfather, and I thought it was kind of funny. Wade Barrett keeps teasing that Papa Shango is going to come out in the Royal Rumbles, and they actually had him come out right afterward. It's a shame that he couldn't have come out afterward and eliminate Godfather just to kind of play off of that. But as far as the Godfather thing, all right, Godfather comes out, and he has his music playing, and they still keep it playing even when he gets eliminated, and they had it the entire time. He just takes off his glasses and his hat and his coat and all that, comes into the ring, gets drop kicked, leaves, and that's it. I agree that they should have had somebody else who could have stayed longer in the match. But it was still kind of funny. I mean, whatever.
I couldn't compete, right?
You got to have your quickest elimination in the match,
Yeah, but it wasn't needed whatsoever. It's like this guy is a former Intercontinental champion, former tag team champion, doesn't need that sort of shortest time in the Rumble gimmick on him. It goes to someone like Santino, who's shit, rather than someone like the Godfather, who actually is a good wrestler, despite the fact he's been through a ton of different gimmicks.
It's a shame. I think more so than the fact that he came in, took a spot, and just got eliminated. It's a shame that they couldn't have him in the ring dancing with Brodus Clay.
Yeah,
that would have been that would have made up for it. Made it kind of cool.
Do you notice how they downplayed the hose?
Oh yeah, they didn't do anything with them.
Yeah, but they downplayed them. They just came in, went yay, and then he got knocked out. And yay, and they walked out.
John Cena came out number 19, and he was the winner of the match. Which we'll get on the winner. We'll get on the winner thing in a minute. But the number 19 spot was in my list of no fucking way that they were gonna do it, because they never have anybody win from 10 to 19 ever. I mean, they had Shawn Michaels win at number 18, and that was it. So that was like, it's not going to be number 19. It's not going to be number 15 or 12 or anything like that. So they really took me by surprise there, which is going to screw up all of my predictions except for one. Because actually, when I looked back on the stats page, the average win for the Royal Rumble spot was 19.5. And now that John Cena won at 19, it's now 19.4. So I thought that was really kind of interesting that he actually won in like the legitimate spot, because the only reason it was the 19.5 before is because I backtracked the number 13 out of 20 spot that Jim Duggan won, that comes out to 20 something or other if you make it out of a 30. Damian Sandow is number 20. Number 21 is Daniel Bryan. 22 is Antonio Cesaro. 23 is Khali. 24 is Kane. 25 is Zack Ryder, who at this point, Dace was getting... he was sweating bullets because he thought Zack Ryder wouldn't be in the match. Randy Orton is number 26. Jinder Mahal is 27. Miz is 28. I thought it was funny that right before The Miz came out, they eliminated Antonio Cesaro, which is kind of stupid. And when John Cena eliminated him, the crowd booed. So there you go.
Oh, Cena getting booed for eliminating talent.
Right.
Big shock.
And Miz and Cesaro fought before The Miz got into the ring, which is another staple. You always have the person eliminate somebody after they've been eliminated. You always have people fight before the entrance and all that kind of stuff. Sin Cara is number 29, and Ryback is number 30, who comes in last because they protect the hell out of him, and then at the last minute, throw it all away by having John Cena eliminate him. I really wanted the Shield to come in and eliminate Ryback if he wasn't going to win. And I really was hoping when it came down to the final four was what? It was Sheamus, Ziggler, Ryback, and Cena.
Yeah.
I did predict that Ziggler would make it to the final four and that Ryback would be part of the final four. I just want to add that one out. Oh, and that Sheamus was in that as well. Cena, I just want to freaking kick him in the head.
This reminds me a little bit of the 2009, I think it was, where you had the three big phases in the company. You had the Batista, which would be like the Ryback here, the John
2008,
Cena.
actually.
Oh yeah,
I thought you were my friend.
Yeah, the Triple H, Batista, and Cena. And now this is Sheamus, who's Triple H's buddy, John Cena, and Ryback. And it turns out to be, this big fucking let's blow all the baby faces kind of a situation, because Dolph Ziggler should have been the last person to get eliminated at that point. It should have been everybody teaming up on Ryback, and then
Ryback was given, like the push that he was given in that match. He looked really shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Doesn't he always though? Like, let's not
he's
split hairs here.
He's doing a match with someone. I know he can't go the distance with certain people, but when
it's just gonna hinder his career.
Yeah, it's gonna hinder his career. I agree. He is too big. He actually pulls off a lot of his power moves, but every time someone went for him, he'd kind of swat him away like a fly, and he looked really sluggish. And if you're going to put this guy up as your main eventer, he's got to learn how to work. Ric Flair could go Iron Man matches, could go short, he can still do the distance now at his old age, and you've got someone like Ryback in there who could barely even move in that ring, and that spot really made him look weak. And I can't say it's the WWE's fault on that. It's Ryback's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is WWE's fault is the fact that they built this guy up as unstoppable, and ever since they had his first important match, he's lost every single one of them.
That's another thing.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to bounce back with this booking and have him win the Rumble. That's why I was so convinced, because they're so high on the guy. I'm like, well, he lost 3 title matches in a row, lost a 6-man to the Shield. They got to give him the Rumble.
Yeah, they're
that
killing
high
right
on
now.
him. He's got to win it. Basically.
It would have meant a lot more if Ryback.
I trolled myself.
That Rumble, because he would have been the World Heavyweight Champion come Mania.
He could win that chamber match coming up.
He would have been the right person to win that title, and the fact that they've just destroyed it. This is another thing as well, and I want to touch on this now before I go into a huge tirade about this. John Cena does not need the Rumble win. The only reason he got the Rumble win is because booking just thought, we'll just give another Rock versus Cena too.
I know. It's playing to coincidence.
Yeah, that also they need to put on the feature card too.
It's out of our hands.
Yeah, but it's also like,
Rock won the title.
Here's another accolade that John Cena has. Here's another accolade. He's a 2-time Rumble winner.
It's the build up to Rock Cena. They promoted the hell out of it as being once in a lifetime. So now they're going to do it again. It's like, look who's the champion and look who won the Royal Rumble. It's out of our hands. Look who won. I mean, that's just how the title match turned out.
Yeah, it didn't need
irony.
Oh no.
It could have, as The Rock has been challenging for the title by saying, The Rock's going to challenge it because I've been given a title shot. Cena could have easily lost that Rumble match to Ryback, and then Cena could have just gone onto Elimination Chamber.
Won a number 1 contenders chamber match in there. Yeah. There you go. Yes.
Yeah,
that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
That's what I thought they were going to do. But no.
The fact that the Royal Rumble winner usually, it's been, I think, the last 4 years that the Royal Rumble winner has contested for the World Heavyweight Championship. That should have remained constant, because at least that shows the main event caliber of the World Heavyweight title in that match.
But then 18 seconds happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that you need to. If they're going to get behind Ryback, they need to push him. If they're not going to get behind Ryback,
drop him like a fly, and I would not care.
Yeah. But you've got
I'm not going to lie.
The whole issue they have with setting these sort of things up. John Cena's not the healthiest guy at the moment. He's going to be going part-time soon. The Rock's part-time. Triple H, Lesnar, both part-timers. You're going to end up filling your Mania card with all these part-timers. Eventually, when these guys can't come back, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. And there's a little message that you're going to see on the image caption for the next match when we get to that. But here are some statistics when it comes to the Royal Rumble. The shortest time was Godfather with 5 seconds. The longest time was Dolph Ziggler, 49 minutes and 47 seconds. I really wanted him to beat Rey Mysterio's record and just go like an hour and 5 minutes or something like that. But the Royal Rumble wasn't long enough for it, so that they fucked him over with that.
Yeah.
The most eliminations were a tie with Ryback and Sheamus at 5. I don't know why Sheamus is just like the biggest fucking person in the company for them. And the winner, of course, was John Cena, number 19. So we will talk more as, all building up to WrestleMania. We're going to be running down the whole why is John Cena and The Rock again, all this other kind of crap, even though we knew it was coming and everything. But so you're going to hear more and more of us complaining about it, and at times we're going to say, well, what else are you going to do, and a bunch of other stuff like that. But for the most part, complaining about it because we kind of just don't want to see it again, and we don't think it's special enough.
Nobody cares about Rematch Mania.
I wouldn't care if they made it a triple threat with Punk. I would have said fine, right? Because
that's not the same exact match.
But it would have been logical. Because of the booking that they've done, that would have been logical. But instead, they're going for the Rock versus Cena again, and people are like, once in a lifetime and then twice in a lifetime. We're never going to do it again until they fucking decide that the Rock needs another film promo and come in and basically like, oh, I'm going to win another WWE. You know what pisses me off the most? I wouldn't have cared if Rock won the World Heavyweight Championship, because that's the title that needs a push. By doing it to the WWE Championship, by having something, because the thing about it as well, it was so Four Horsemen, right? This was so NWA, it was so old school, having Punk hold this championship and win at any cost. Wouldn't it matter more if they had this done at Mania? It would have mattered so much more.
It would have.
Because they would have had someone eventually dethrone the biggest heel in the company by taking the championship, by winning it. By anything, and it could have been someone who was an underdog, he couldn't do it. I've held this title from this time all the way to Mania. But they had him, but they had him lose it at the Rumble to The Rock in a match which wasn't that amazing. It wasn't that great, and it was because it was The Rock's first match back, and I don't know if it's the fact that he's gained so much weight over the past few months.
All right, well,
it's the fact that he's not in ring shape. But
before we start talking about Rock and all that, we'll do that in the next part. Final thoughts for the Royal Rumble. I thought it was a decent Royal Rumble itself, although
it was solid.
I think everybody kind of agree it was fun, but damn it, why did it have to be John Cena?
Yeah.
Winner aside, I thought it was a great Royal Rumble match. Actually, personally, I thought it was the match of the night for the show. Winner excluded.
Man, you know what?
You can bitch about it all you want, but that's what's happening. So,
I have to take my hat off to Ziggler though as well for lasting the amount of time he did. He shined in that match. Out of everybody, he shined.
No surprises there.
Yeah, and also the having Jericho come back last as long as he did, that was also another high point for the Rumble for me also too.
Oh yeah,
I like the setup as well. The setup for that feud is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So now the next part, we'll talk about the WWE Championship match between CM Punk and The Rock.